Hello and welcome back to the driver's room. We're here with the Endurance Championship in Season 4, Round 7 of Tier 1. And as we take a look at the point standings, we can see F1 has got 110 points, taking the lead away from Knee Jogger last round with a dominant victory, stealing away a strong result from Pluxtheduck down in 10th there. In second we've got Knee Jogger, then Muller, Gadget, Ben, Etten, Mongino, V8, Rocker, the aforementioned Pluxtheduck, Fours, Jules, Lorcaz, and Jammy. Let's see what happened today down at the track. As we take a look at the grid, we can see F1's on pole, with Plux alongside him, just like last week, but the other way around. Let's take a look down at the grid. So we're here at Alsace. This is Alsace 2, the reverse layout. Last time we went to Alsace, this man here, F1, dominated in the Toyota, and here we see him in the Nissan. Pluxtheduck, unlikely to retain his championship crown, there in the Porsche in second. Knee Jogger in the Lexus takes third on the grid. Mongino puts in an impressive fourth place time in the Audi. Then we've got Senna in a strong position in the Mercedes. Ford's also showing this track is quite good for the AMG Mercedes. Then we've got Ben in the Beetle. Jules also showing a pretty good showing there in the Mercedes. Then we have the McLaren 650S of Muller with a special paint scheme this week. The other Porsche of V8. And then Gadget not really showing his true potential at the back in a car that just doesn't want to go around corners. Let's see what happened in the race. So we've got 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 lights, 5 lights are on. And away we go. And it looks like a pretty good start from both. It looks like actually maybe Plux got a better start. What an absolute blind over start. We run through and oh, F1's gone wide. Looks like F1's hit the wall there. We'll have to see what happened, but everyone's away cleanly. But F1, has he got damage? Has he spun out? No, he seems to have just bounced off the wall. Let's see what happened there. That chaotic start to our championship leader. So yeah, you can hear the Porsche did get a better start. Let's see what happened into turn 1. He just missed his braking point. F1 just missed it, didn't turn in, but got so lucky with the bounce there. And it looks like he didn't get any damage. Let's see on board with him. Yep, he's got no damage indicated. You'd see a flashing marker if he had any damage, so he got very lucky, but has fallen all the way to the back as we're blowing up through the field. It looks like the biggest winner was probably Gadget there, who made an excellent start from the back row of the grid as we're on board with Jules, right up behind Mongino. Jules also looked like he had a good start, being that Etten was behind him. Sorry, in front of him on the grid. Oh, but Mongino's there, run a little bit wide. Who's that sneaking up the side? Senna snuck back past them both. Gadget's also fighting. There's Ben's had a big penalty already. V8 there made a mistake. Miller's fighting with the pair of them. And F1 does look to be having a bit of trouble here. Getting through these back markers. His pole time was around a second faster than anybody else's lap time. Which really shows F1's pace all year, and also possibly a little bit of an advantage for the GTR here as we see some. Oh wait, has there been an incident? Looks like maybe Moon and Jules have come together. We've just cut away from this. Let's see what happened next. Oh, Jules just missed braking point and just rear ends straight into the back of Mung. That's a real shame for both those drivers who had great starts as we're on board with our race leader Plux. Hasn't really pulled away from Knee at all. Is Miller fighting with F1. Miller's got the inside line. Gadget there, but F1 just goes right round the outside. And this is where the Nissan is strong. It's got great low end to mid end acceleration out of corners. It's a very stable car, as we've seen. Mung's probably had another issue there. There's V8 and Jules. fighting now at the back. Real shame for Jules making that mistake. Obviously worse for Mung, but Jules also, you know, had a great start. Was looking promising. Right on board with V8. The Porsche that both V8 and Flux is driving is not suited to this track. You'd think it would be, it looks like a handling track, but it turns out this track isn't. It's more of a power circuit, and the one thing the Porsche really doesn't do well at is power tracks. We saw that on the back straight of Saint Croix back in Season 2. We saw that a little bit at Fuji where it struggled, but Alsace seems to be its worst fight yet. As we jump back on board with the leaders. Force had a great first lap, all the way up to third. F1's recovering very well. Already up into fifth position, sorry. And that's great work from our championship leader. And he made that error early, then he got a lucky bounce off the wall back towards the track and only lost, I believe, about 7 seconds on the race leader. Consider he was the second a lap faster than anybody else in qualifying, you can expect him to catch up pretty quickly. He's just got to make his way through the fat markers. What is important to note is next season, as we're with Senna, who's having a good 4th place there, is that sort of incident will have a much bigger effect this time next season. Next season in Tier 1 will be leading to heavy damage. We'll also be getting rid of the 2 points for no red dot bonus. It's like a clean race bonus. It's been implemented for this season. Replacing the 2 extra points will be heavy damage. Test our drivers even more. He can consider himself quite lucky as he moves through in 5th position, chasing down the Mercedes of Senna. Using all the track yet, so this is going kind of comfortably for now. Let's look back through the field a bit more. We saw Gadget. There's Muller in his special one-off Union flag livery. Jules and V8 having a good old fight. Mung unfortunately has dropped to the back. Mung is in the process of transferring. Oh, a punt! Oh. V8 does the right thing, waits for him. There is Mung. The reason why we're seeing Mung having some problems is twofold. One, the Audi has been the victim of some bad patches, ruining what was quite a good balance, but just aggressive on tyres type of car. That's a bit of a nightmare, and that's being changed for, made worse by the fact that Mung is switching from pad to steering wheel. So we should expect to see a faster Mung in the future, but for now he may have some issues. We're on board with Senna, who's chasing down Fours. We go into the Turn 1 complex. And Fours has run a little bit wide. Senna can run this through nicely. Oh, he got a bit of oversteer there. That's going to cost him momentum up the hill. We've still got a better run out of there. Not easy to overtake down this downhill corner. It's not really a big enough braking point. But all this battling is going to be helping out F1. Because he's got the best power car here. He's going to be able to outdrain. He just slips it down the inside there. I don't think Senna saw that coming. F1 was trying to be optimistic with his moves there. Runs through the long sweeping corner. Oh, it looks like Senna might have given the position back. F1 just drove straight past him. That long left-hand corner is a very difficult challenge. Some cars like it, some cars get very tail-happy or twitchy through there. The Porsche does that, I believe the Audi does the same, as does the McLaren cars of Gadget and Muller. So we look back at P2. There is Plux in first. Seen the apex there. There's Knee doing a good job in the second position. Here is F1 just swooping straight past 4. Oh no, 4's is still there. Here comes the big beast itself. It's going to go wide. Force has covered the inside, but it's going to compromise his exit. Here comes the big GTR. He's going to have a look probably into someone, but I think there was a small bit of contact there. Forced to brake too late. He's doing the same move Senna did the week before. He's a little bit closer, just swoops it straight around the outside, and now F1 is back up onto the podium after only 4 and a bit laps since his incident. And these top 2 cars are probably ruining their car choice. Very good through the first sector, the Porsche. It's pretty good through there. Oh, as you see, a big slide. As I said before, mid-engine cars don't like this corner, and there's quite a lot of time to be gained through here. Alsace has very much been F1's domain so far. Can he manage to retain or regain the lead? Even in traffic, he's set the purple lap time so far. If he does win this race, it's likely he's going to win the championship today, as he'll score a minimum of 26 points for a win, and that will put him 36 points, no, 30-ish points, let's say, ahead of Nijogger. Nijogger will, of course, have to finish pretty close behind him to stay in with a shot. Plus, we have to factor in the fact that Nijogger will be dropping a score. We're on board with Ben. Just ahead of Gadget in the Beetle. First major use of the Beetle we've seen by anybody. It was originally picked by Swinburne before the start of Gr3 Season 1, but he never actually raced, so we haven't really seen much of the Beetle in the top tier. How they uses it. As we're on board, we've jumped ahead a lap. Is F1 probably taking Nijogger as we come out of the hairpin. He's got a good run. Nijogger doesn't protect the inside. He allows F1 the inside line. Maybe he's trying to get the cutback. And it looks like F1's broke a little bit later. A little bit of camera issues there. Yep, definitely an easy overtake. We're now watching Ben swoop down the inside, well, around the outside now of Force. Force made a mistake. Good move there by Ben. Force, brakes very late. Ben might have gone a little bit wide there. Yeah, he gets on the power a little too hard. So we're now watching our leaders pit. This will be Plux in. I can tell you Plux was on a split strategy of tyres. Softs on the front, supers on the rear. Knee pits, he was on softs. So does Senna. Force. Oh, that was so close to an instant. We saw that Force got back ahead of Ben, but that could have been dramatic. As we now see Plux is already out. He's now on super soft tyres, so he's going for it on this lap, or these next few laps. F1's railing down. Expect Plux, of course, on the fresh tyres will be able to kind of pull away from F1 when F1 pits, but it's looking highly likely that F1's going to be closing down Gr3 triple champion. There's Gadget in 7th, in 8th, in 9th. Jules at the back at the moment, runs a little bit wide there. We join F1 in the pits. Does look like Plux has managed to get out ahead. Here's Ben. He's trying to stay ahead of some drivers as well. He was battling with Force. Force has made it out on those fresh tyres, so that late dive for the pits. There's the gap between our top 2. So the Porsche is very good through the first 2 corners and quite good through this hairpin. Every other corner and straight is pretty pointless squirt, which means cars with good acceleration, i.e. the Mercedes, the Nissan, lethal actually if you can get the power down. They all accelerate very well. But cars like the Porsche, this McLaren, they're not great out of corners. Even though both McLarens are very good in a straight line. It's not great as we're on board with Ben and Gadget. Oh, Gadget runs wide. So the biggest problem for the McLaren, if we're going to talk about the McLaren F1, is its brakes. It doesn't stop. And Gadget has had this problem ever since he picked it. Massively fast in straight line. You can see how much gap he's pulled back out by the end of the straights. We're now on board with F1. Can't yet see Plux. Check on board with the leaderboards. We can see the gap is down to 4 seconds between our top two after 20 minutes of racing. So stay on board with our current race leader. Oh, and my word, you can see the lap time that F1 was able to put down of 1:51. It's pretty close to his pole time. As we're on board with Nate. Third place. Oh, a big slide in the Lexus. The Lexus is kind of halfway between a good car out of the corners. It's very balanced. It hasn't got as much punch as maybe the Mercedes or the Nissan. The Lexus is a fairly good all-round car. As we watch and see the difference in lap time, even though both cars had off laps, and F1 was actually further off his best, he still managed to take, I think, 4 or 5 tenths out of Plux. Plux is on older tyres now, and will wear quick. As we come back to Neat and Senna. He's managed to clear fours. Now fours must have had an issue. You can see him have another issue there. There's Gadget in a strong 6th position. He might be trying to challenge fours later in the race. And Ben, who's still got a very large penalty. There's Muller in 8th, hanging on to the back of these guys. There's Gadget again being pressured by Ben through this section of the track. Ben will have the advantage because the McLaren, as well as having bad brakes, you can see here, doesn't exactly have great aero. It is a car from the 90s. It's very good in a straight line, but it doesn't go around long and fast corners. You can check out just how bad that car is around long sweeping corners if you go back to Season 2 at Fuji, where you can see Plux and Gadget came together after Plux was somewhat caught out about how much faster the Porsche was than the McLaren round a long sweeping bend. Check that on this channel. It's also worth noting that you can check out all sorts of drivers' room action on other channels. A lot of the drivers here put up YouTube videos. As we jump ahead, I shall bring back that point in a moment. Stay on board with F1. Oh, F1 gets a big kick of oversteer there. He'll gain out of this even with that mistake. And then Nissan is very balanced. You see there's nothing behind F1 there. Look how much F1 canes through here. He can run a deeper line into there because he's got enough grunt in the car to make up for the amount of pace he loses. Plux has to take a wider line through to get a late apex and get back on the power earlier to make up for the fact that his car isn't very good in a straight line. Again, this is another point the squirt corner. Watch out on the exit. Porsche loses another few car lengths. Through here the cars are pretty balanced. Flux's tyres will be starting to go off, but this is the corner that's an absolute killer. We'll see F1. He manages to turn in earlier and get back on the power better, and here he goes. Plux did his usual trick of trying to get a late apex to protect himself, but look at the difference in the straight line speed. Plux covers the inside line. He's done it slightly more aggressively than some of the other drivers. Remember back to fours, he cut way closer to the inside line, and which really stopped him as they run into turn 1 side by side again. Plux has the inside line with the Porsche. This is one of the few parts of the track the Porsche is very good through. Oh, F1's caught the rear of the Porsche there. think F1 wasn't expecting the Porsche to be on that apex. He was trying to do the cutback. Plux in the Porsche under all sorts of pressure. This is a corner where the Nissan is going to absolutely monster that Porsche. Both guys driving well. Porsche actually got a pretty good exit out of there, but he can't break away now. Oh, he's got a kick of oversteer. He's stuck up on that high line. He can't come back down now. And he's clipped a wall. Oh, that's going to cost him. That's F1 through, comfortably through. Didn't have to fight it. We'll expect to see Plux in any time as well for new tyres. F1 probably will pit the lap after. And you can see the moment the Porsche is back in the dirty air, it really struggles. But F1's done it. He's managed to catch up all the time he lost on that first lap incident. Great drive. As we're now back on board with Ben and Gadget. This battle still hasn't finished. As we check Force, who's pulled a little bit away. There's Senna. And Nijogger in a strong, comfortable third position. So as I was saying before the battle for the lead, a lot of the drivers here do put up their own YouTube videos. All the drivers are in action, including Miller CJ there. And also in Tier 2 we have Kamaru 75 as we're on board with Fox pitting. I should interrupt the advert again. Taking on fuel this time. And also see Nijogger in, making the softs last only as long as Plux could make the supers last. Force this time stays out, Gadget pits. Ben stays out. And Muller. We'll see what the power of the undercut is. This is Plux's only chance probably to get back ahead of F1. Plux is going to need a pretty balls out lap. There's Gadget back out the pits. So like I say, Muller CJ is one of the commentators. There's Mario 75, DJ Rice, and of course AGT Grimlock, also known as Gran Turismo Racer. Check their channels out for more Drivers Room action, and if you want to get involved with the Drivers Room, just ask anyone here. We're watching F1 fuel up. Here we go. This is going to be how good was as they're coming out side by side again. Here we go. Plux has got to the inside. He's going to make it through. Oh, there's some possible contact there. F1 hits a wall. Does Plux leave? Yeah, he has lifted off slightly. I think he's allowing F1 through, but he's picked up a massive penalty. We'll cut back and see what happened in there. F1 is through. Could argue Plux did have the corner. That looks like a pretty 50-50 incident, if I'm honest. At best 50-50. There's Gadget in fifth. He's jumped ahead of Force. Stayed ahead of Muller. A long way ahead of Ben. Ben's been the big loser through this cycle of pit stops. There's V8, oh, going wide. Just about keeps it out of the barrier. I think he touched the outside grass. And there's Jules, he's on ancient tyres now. He's going to need to pit. To get back to the front. There's F1. Plux is now charging after him, but he's never probably going to be able to close him down. That Nissan's just too good around this track. F1's too good at driving that Nissan as well. They'll get everything out of it. There's Etten in fourth, a good solid fourth position. So on board with Nijogger now on lap 19. Having a solid third place at the moment. Senna starting to really control it in fourth. And there's Gadget in fifth. It was a big win. Oh, Nijoga's run wide. I just said he was having a solid race, and he's absolutely buried it in the wall. It's kind of reminiscent of the incident he had at the Nürburgring, where he looped it at the final corner. It was a similar sort of corner, a bit faster, and he's just touched the outside grass, and around he goes. Can Senna capitalise? The same age tyres. And hasn't had a great run through there. But he will have a better run than Nee. Nee is going to have to defend. He goes for a similar tactic as he did on F1. Not really covering off that inside approach into the final corner. And he does allow Senna to take the inside. He's going for the cutback though. Can he get on the power hard enough? I don't think he can. I think Ayrton's going to have that position for now, but can he fight him up, fight back through? There's Gadget in 5th. F1 in 1st. Just easing himself away from the Porsche. At 9.11. Was never really the odds-on favourite for this sort of race. As we watch Gadget. Closely chased after by fours. Miller's still there, lurking in the background. McLaren is one of those cars, well, the 650S, sorry, is one of those cars that hasn't really been chosen by many. It's got a reputation of not really having much grip. It's a shame, it's extremely good looking. See fours up the inside there, can't make the move stick. Involved with all of that. As we cut through to Gadget, again you can see how much the fours can take out of him in the braking zone with those more modern brakes. Strong up the hill is the McLaren, well, both McLarens. Fours have a look under braking into the hairpin. Gadget has to take avoiding action. I think fours would have done that. That's like a classic block pass there. Got his car on the inside and forced the other car to turn out of the corner. Similar move to what Plux was attempting. So we watch Ayrton into the pits now. Each other. There's been a fuel stop through these cars. Look how much fours has pulled away from Gadget. Short space of time. Miller now chasing him down in the other McLaren. Ben's right behind Miller, so it's still a tight battle in the midfield. What Miller will find is Ben probably gaining him up the hill. That's slightly better traction of the Beetle. But at the same time, McLaren is strong at the top end. The Beetle, and as we see, Ben there's made a mistake into the hairpin, so that's given Muller kind of free rein to get back through. There's Senna, who's already through on Ben. As we head down on lap 23, we see F1 pit this time. Yes, we do. Fox not having pitted yet, we'd expect he'll pit as well. See what the difference in fuel levels are. See, F1's managed to save some fuel. It's the advantage of having the car with more power, is you can turn down that fuel mixture and save some fuel. But stays on the supers. Roughly 15 minutes of the race left. There's Nate. We'll see him in sometime soon, but he stayed out this time. There's Gadget and Miller, just behind fours. See both these cars, yep, both these cars doing the pits this time. With Ayrton going through. Fours goes a little bit wide there, you can see his tyres are starting to run out. Senna. Gadget. Also out. These two are going to be side by side on the exit. Yes, they are. Miller trying to go around the outside. Gadget holding it firm. This time Miller's got the inside. A little bit of rubbing. But we think that's about on the limit of fair in GT racing. These aren't Formula cars. They've got fenders. They can kind of lean on each other. As we see now, Nijogger into the pits. This is going to kind of determine who has the podium spot, or at least holds it. Looks like Ayrton's going to have it fairly comfortably. He is still on his way up the pits now. Bors is in as well. He's going to hold on quite comfortably to the 5th position. Yep, he's out in 5th. So Ayrton now takes 3rd. Bors maintains 5th. A good run from Bors today. Closing up to the back. With Ben now a fair way back. With V8 and Jules bringing up the back. It's a shame for Jules after that great start to be now down near the back. As we are on board with Gadget, it still is a race-long battle. Miller quite being able to get close enough to make something happen. It's taking a strangely tight line. He's gone off there. What's happened there? He's just gone completely wide on fresh tyres. Maybe pushed it a little too hard. That's a real shame. Is he going to be able to... I think he's going to hold on to 7th position, but that's cost him a lot of time. And of course the position to Miller. Miller will happily have those 3 points. Here we go. Here's the other battle. And he has got a small penalty. He has got the fresher tyres. Now on supers, they've worn a little bit. See what happens here. There's Ayrton sliding that car out. The Lexus will be a slightly more balanced car, but the AMG Merc is a better car out the corners and on the power. Does well at power circuits. And Ayrton has made the most of it. There's a man who has dominated. I was going to talk about Plux, but we switched to F1, so we might as well talk about that. Now we switch back. I was going to say Plux has made the best of a bad hand, but F1's made everyone else look a bit silly today. Dominated out front after that error. So we're still raging on in this battle, and he's close. I don't really know where he's going to get past. So he's throwing the car at the corners, but he is doing more damage to his tyres, I think. In centre, though, that's a good run through that corner. If he can now tuck it in nicely through here. Oh, he's gone a bit too deep, and he's touched the grass, and he's round. And that's going to curtail any chance of a podium for me. That's his 2nd mistake. We've seen this before. He did it at the Nürburgring 2 races ago, made mistakes, cost himself a podium. Shot at a podium. He's done it again. What a shame for Nijogger. Now that, if he stays in 4th, that pretty much will guarantee the championship for F1. Is F1 on lap 31. He should make it round 1 more lap. There's Plux, who also will probably make it round. He hasn't actually been able to burn off any of that penalty that was somewhat interestingly applied. There's Bors under pressure from Muller. It's like Bors's tyres are probably wearing a little now. There's an issue. It looks like he's had a bit of a stalling effect in the car. It's just turned through that corner in a slightly unexpected manner. He's lost a lot of ground on Bors, and that might actually hold Muller at bay for the rest of this lap. It's a good run through that corner though by both these drivers. Bors has done an excellent job. 5th place. Yep, we'll see a finish from both F1 and Plux on the next lap. They both make it to lap 32. Ayrton's not going to make it round those, so our first person over the line will be Ayrton. Miller's closed back in. Ben stayed fairly close to the back of Gadget, but hasn't really been able to do anything. I don't think Miller's going to be able to attack. That mistake through turn 3 has really cost him. Here's Senna though, an excellent strategy. Didn't make mistakes, got a good enough start, and he takes a well-deserved 3rd place. Excellent work on Mercedes. Nijogger had 3rd place completely sewn up under wraps and just kind of threw that away. It's a real shame. And Sport's not behind, an excellent 5th place for him. Muller with a strong 6th. Gadget kicking himself, he ran in 5th for much of the race and 6th. But a good result for a car that qualified 11th. There's Ben. Mistakes probably cost him a chance at the top 5. A good drive in a difficult car. V8 did the best he could in a car that isn't designed for this track, and Jules' race was somewhat always going to struggle after that early incident with Mung. 10 finishers, 11 starters. Mung didn't finish. It's already made it known that he'll be switching out the Audi for next season. We'll see what he chooses. But here's our race winner. Dominant race win after an early, unforced and uncharacteristic error. F1 takes the win, and with that basically takes the championship. Jules takes us across in 10th, and Plux takes a plucky 2nd in a car that really didn't deserve to be there. So as we take a look at the points after that excellent round, you see F1 has secured the championship, with Nijogger having to start dropping scores. Muller continues in 3rd, Gadget continues in 4th, but Senna moves closer. Ben takes a strong 6th place position after Mung's issues. Plux jumps up the order, matching the same points as Mung, and could still theoretically get a 5th place overall result, which in 4 races isn't bad. V8 is in 9th, Fours is in 10th, Rocker takes 11th, Jules is in 12th, and Lorcas and Jammy will be in the relegated spots, ready for next season. Thank you for watching, and catch us again soon.